Hi teachers, welcome to the fall 2016 edition of EDFN 338 Foundations of American Education. In this video I'm going to talk to you about some of the features on D2L that we'll be using throughout the semester, the assignments that you'll be doing, and then also just a reminder that this week, in order for us to address the entire book, week 1 is asking you to do two things. Introduce yourself via a Glogster, which I hope that you'll enjoy doing as much as I do, and then also to begin reading through chapter 1. On our home page, each week I will have a watch and read me first. This will contain the video that I have that gives an overview of the week, and then plus the written instructions as well. So I promise that the following weeks will not be as long as this video, but with week 1 I want to make certain that I go through all of the assignments and then also the expectations for discussion. You'll be able to find the syllabus. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can click on the trial Animoto I made. Lastly, some of you may be taking the pre-practicum this semester as well. I have a document here that shows the correlation with our book and the INTAS standards, which are the standards that are used in schools of education to ensure that we are producing competent teachers. I have a correlation with the Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching. Once you get your first teaching position and begin, you will be evaluated by your principal. Evaluation is not a pass or fail. It's about pass or not quite there yet, and what can we do to get you there. And so the more you learn about it now as you're going through, the more you learn about it as you're going through your education courses, the more prepared you'll be once you begin your teaching career. The other place that we will use is in the content area. From that, what I've learned this past semester is I can create links that go to all of the materials that I want you to use in each of the weeks. You'll notice that I do use many Google Docs. There are going to be times, for example, the teacher interview, I realized, oh, it's a Word document, but pretty much anything new that I make, I do use a Google Doc. With each week, and it looks like I'm on week 2 here, I will have a study guide that I would like for you to download and fill out as you're completing the reading. I want you to, which I need to reorder those, I have documents made that give you a brief introduction into what the chapter is talking about. So I would like for you to read this first, then go ahead and begin reading the chapter. With the study guide, what I want you to do, this will be one of the things that I'll look at the end of the semester if it comes close to whether a person is getting a B or a C, hopefully, or a A or a B, with the study guide. So fill it out, make 2 copies, one for you to keep and then one for you to submit into the Dropbox. Each week I've made a list of all of the discussion questions that accompany each chapter in our text. What I want you to make certain to do is read through, and you'll notice that you have an option on which of the questions that you choose. So, and I realize as I open this one up that I need to do a little bit more highlighting here, but here you can read at the top. It says, after watching the 2 video case studies for chapter 14, please respond to one of the following questions. Weekly discussion is very important in an online class. This first week, and then also in week 16, you'll be in one large group. With the discussions, I have them set up so that you post first, and then you should be able to see who else, what the others have posted as well. So if you go to the discussion and you don't see anything, well, that's just because you have to post first before you will be able to see anything. I have it on the checklist for you to post your initial thoughts to your discussion questions that you've chosen by Friday nights at 11:59 p.m. That gives you 2 more days, Saturday and Sunday, in order to respond to at least 2 of your peers' discussion postings. That's the requirement, 2 discussion postings, and I ask that you read all of the discussion postings in your group. During the semester, you're asked to complete 3 case scenarios, 1 case scenario for each of the 3 modules that we will be going through. What the case scenarios are real life situations that you are asked to think about and address. Last spring was the first time that I used them, and the students in both of my foundations classes found them to be greatly beneficial. Each scenario has an objective. It gives you the scenario, and then it gives you the focus assignment. After you've completed your focused assignment, there is a self-evaluation. As you'll see on this, if you want to receive a grade for your work, you have to complete and submit the self-assessment or self-evaluation for this. So, and what you'll do in these self-evaluations is provide evidence. You will document how your responses have addressed each of the questions by citing places in your book where you learn the information. The scenarios provide situations where you can see theory going into practice. With each chapter, you'll have several ways in which you can check your understanding and mastery of the content that you have learned. First off, you will have a self-assessment that is ungraded. However, the questions that are on the chapter self-assessments will make up the module 1, 2, and 3 assessments that you'll take after our first 5 and then 10 and then lastly 15 chapters. So I highly recommend that you do take the time out each week to go through the self-assessments. Also, through MindTap, we have access to the Did You Get It questions and wrapping it up. The nice thing about those questions is that you can go through them multiple times until you get 100% on each of them. Again, the idea is mastery of the content, and the more time that you spend working through the problems, if there is a question that you miss and you're not certain why, please post it to your question to the D2L discussion area. This way it can be explained, and again, it might not be explained by me, but by someone else, on why the chosen answer is the best answer. Your first Dropbox assignment in Foundations in American Education will be a teacher interview. What you're asked to do is to find a teacher. It could be a teacher that you've had in the past or someone from the local area that teaches the content area that you are interested in. In the interview, you can either meet with them in person, you can ask the questions over the phone, or you could perhaps meet using FaceTime or Skype or another neat service is called zoom.us, which it's a free service. And even though you don't need to have a webcam, but it just gives you another way to meet with someone via the computer. Also, with the teacher interview and with your other Dropbox assignments, I do have a peer review rubric, because I will ask you to find a partner. We'll sign up for it online in a Google Doc, and you'll peer review each other's work. After you receive the peer review back, you can make the suggested changes to your document, and then you'll submit your final version into the D2L Dropbox. Along with the final version, I ask everyone to complete a self-assessment of the work as well. I ask you to go to File, then make a copy, and then indicate whether this is a peer review or whether or not this is something you're submitting with your final version and you're self-assessing. This is a reminder that in the world of education, teachers do not give grades. It's that students earn grades. If you take the time, follow the directions, and then double check your work, there's no reason why you should not succeed to the best of your ability. In the D2L content area, I have a folder that also contains the Dropbox assignments, and you will already see the assignments themselves and the rubrics in the weekly modules. However, in this folder, I also have examples of past student work. You will also see some detailed instructions on how to go about writing your paper. I've created items to help you stay on top of your coursework throughout the semester. First off, we have the calendar. Essentially done as put it on Mondays to read through the new information, and then by Fridays you should have read the chapter, picked out your discussion questions, and then posted your discussion question responses to the D2L discussion area. In addition to the calendar, I have checklists available, and I have them embedded into our weekly content information. This first one is just a checklist of everything that you will be completing throughout the semester. I have links to many of the Google Forms. Even though this information can be found on the D2L content area, I want to make certain that it's available somewhere else as well, in case you cannot locate something. For each of the Dropbox assignments, I also will have checklists that go with them. For those assignments, then, you will have the assignment, you'll have the rubric that will be used to not only peer review, but also to self-assess your assignment, and then you have a checklist to help you stay on top of what you need to complete for the assignment. Wow, that was a lot of information. If I missed anything, and there is a chance that I may have, please ask your question on the D2L discussion area. I really look forward to working with you this semester, and let's have a great one. Thanks for listening.